I think we can start. And no, I can't make people mods. And as I've said, don't ask people to be mods. Like, there are rules to the channel. Welcome on in, everyone. It's Friday, so yeah. We are gonna have some game dev today. Hopefully I can finish the task to implement the theming for the game, in this case System Invaders. I've been doing some adjustments off screen. Should be a bit better looking now. So yeah, I now need to implement the code that will handle the theming. I am not playing anything, I'm doing game dev. Let me see, just checking if everything is alright. Does appear so. Okay, let's continue. So, first off, I need to create a theme manager because I don't have one. And for that, let me see. So it should be in the managers here. Managers, yeah. Okay, new item. And let's call it a theme manager. Okay. Public class theme manager. It's going to be instance behavior. Give me a second. Let me put the microphone a bit closer, just in case. Okay, it isn't capturing the music I'm listening to. That's good. Team manager. Okay, so this is gonna have serialize. Serialize field using Unity Engine private. You're gonna have a list of teams. Themes equals new list type theme. Honestly, can I make you a read-only span? Okay, interesting. I'll just leave it as a list for now. It's fine. Let's apply theme. Let's say int index. Do I want to do it like this? Nah. It's actually this. Then I'm gonna declare a specific action that will have the theme, and it's gonna be called onTheme applied. Let me just lower the music a bit, because I can barely hear myself talking. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Hey Logan, welcome on in. Yeah, okay, that's better. So, just gonna say onTheme applied dot invoke theme, something like that. If you have any subscriptions to this action, yeah. The points are explained in the pinned message. It's basically to interact with the twins over here. Let me see. Public list type theme get themes. Return themes. That should be fine. Yeah. Then to apply, trying to think. How will I define that a seam has been unlocked? I'm gonna have to define it in here, most likely. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me try something. Can I obtain first? Obtain a list of... Okay, I got it. Serialize field private list I seamable component seamable components equal new list. I wonder if with an interface I can do this, because otherwise I'm gonna have to create a custom component for this. Hey Julia, welcome on in. For each var seamable component and seamable components, can I just say apply seam? Yeah. Okay. Now I am starting to understand how I plan to do this. Yeah, this makes sense. This part here will just be to obtain a list of the seams. List seam. It seems. Yeah, you just return. You apply a seam to all of the components that you know by reference. So this should be fine. Okay, I'm gonna go here and say create empty seam manager. Seam manager. And then we're gonna have this. Yeah, it doesn't show the specific for the interface. This is gonna be complicated. Do I have the method buttons, by the way? Let me see. Method button. I do. Huh. Okay, public void. Does it need to be public? I don't remember. Update. Level. Components. Update the lists for now. In here, maybe off. Update lists. Also, I need to disable the freaking... Where is it? Here. Let's disable the keybind for the headpads, because that's getting annoying. Where is it? Where is the keybind? Classes, lab background, green screen, glitch, memcho. Speaking of which, that's better. Hoodie off, cat ears, unimpressed. Did I assign it a specific in the items? Huh. Let's see. Item scenes for hotkeys. Headpad select. No, it should be. It should be specifically somewhere in here. Why can't I define it? Does this suit this hoodie off? Headpads. Bingo. E and H. Let me put with an Alt. And now it shouldn't bother me or randomly trigger, supposedly. Okay, let me see if the update list button shows up. That's good. Let me see. Might have to do, as I said, the custom editor just for this. Where is the editor specific stuff? Here. Did I? Huh. Trying to figure out how I did this. Okay, should be in here then. I'm gonna put a new folder, custom inspectors. New item. Should be scene manager inspector window. Public custom editor for type of scene manager. Can I not do? Huh. Okay, so you might have to be in a different space. I see. This is gonna be complicated then. Let me see. Runtime. Should have then. Do I have an editor folder? So in the managers, I'm gonna also add an editor folder, and I'm gonna move the one that's here to here. Okay, this should be fine. How do you do it in here? Yeah. Speed up. Thank you. So basically do system invaders UI, so the one above you, okay? Where is scripting? Yeah, assembly definition. System invaders dot managers dot editor. It's not any platform. Okay, give me a second. Okay. You're gonna do deselect all, only select editor, and you're gonna reference system invaders dot managers. This one. Okay, and your root namespace is this. Okay, save. With this, I supposedly created a new assembly definition, which creates a new project in here. Supposedly. Let me see. Managers editor. Yep, it's here. Managers editor. And it has a team manager inspector window. It's kind of undid my code, but it's fine. Public editor or custom editor. Using Unity editor, type of scene manager. Editor inspector? Inspector window? No. It might be editor window. Let me just go refresh my memory. Custom editor window or inspector window. Okay, so create a new model behavior, etc. Custom editor and its type editor. Okay. So that's what I want. What's the difference? On inspector. On GUI. It might be that specifically. Yeah. Huh? Oh, because it's different now. That makes a lot of sense. Editor window, yeah. Create GUI. That's not what I want. Edit inspector, custom editor window, create a custom inspector. Create a model behavior. Okay, you basically do exactly the same in teaching this. Fix. Yeah. Basically force me into this. But it shouldn't. Oh, because yeah, I get it. Unity editor dot editor. Now it makes sense. On inspector. Nope. What's it called? Create inspector GUI. Okay, return base.create inspector GUI. yeah. Oh, I can just do this. Okay. Gotcha. This makes sense. Where do you get the minspector XML? Oh, in here. In char_inspector.cs, create a public variable for visual tree asset in your script and assign files a default reference for the. Okay, let me just do it like this. See how it looks now. Because this definitely is weird. Okay. So, inspector XML. I kind of need to build the main one. Find the text field. Oh dear boy. Now I see it. Okay. This is complicated. Create a custom inspector UI with UI builder. Editor extension authoring. Show. Essentially, if I'm understanding correctly, I need to go here, UI builder, and let me see, file new, to enable editor controls in UI builder, select the unsaved finished in the hierarchy. Okay, where's the hierarchy? Here. Okay. Drag a label. I see. So if I were to do something like, apologies, fold out. Okay, tab index, display position. Oh boy, this, yeah, this is not gonna be easy, is it? What did I call it? Seamable? Seamable component. Okay. Data source type and seamable components. Where can I edit the name? Not in here. Text. Okay. Yeah, not in here. Ain't this funny? Size, value. Oh, doi. Seamable components. And then you're gonna have another one that's basically seams. Like so. And it's gonna be seam. Apologies. Seam name, seam manager, seam. Now, which is which? Yeah. Okay, I think I got the correct one. Does appear so. Okay. What the heck is this? It passes to the value in the data source used by this binding. Oh. Okay, you're gonna do essentially this. Where is runtime? Managers, editor, custom inspectors, and I'm gonna name this as Theme Manager Inspector window. Okay. So with you, I can select nothing. I start to see why Unity has issues with that. But yeah. I do wonder. I can just say to assign it to an object or a specific type. I see. I can just say it's type string. There are so many classes named string. System string, yep, that's the one. For now, let me say it like that. How do I do the rest? Look, visual tree asset, yeah. So something like this. My inspector. Then you have in the scripts to define an XML. Huh. I see. And where, pre-tell, will you load this? Because now I can see this. But where do I essentially bind the freaking thing? Binding path m_meek. Find the property field. I see. This is gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it? Scene manager, okay. You have this. Okay. Trying to figure out. So basically bind to whatever I have defined here. So if I were to edit this and say you is a default method to define a path to a serialized property most often used. Okay, is that the same one? No. Although they seem the same. Okay, if I do this, and then let me just put as a window here. Okay, that's a bit better. In Scene Manager, yeah, I thought as much. Because I can't. This is just a foldout, it's not a list of items. So I can't edit stuff. Property field, etc. There should be something. ImGUI as slider progress bar, tab view, numeric, a value, choice, toolbar, and property. I can just say this is going to be the seams instead of the other one. Okay, seams. Type theme. And it should be the first one, supposedly. Okay. Okay, and I can do this. We are getting somewhere. Now I just need a way to populate this. Because there's no specific property field for seamable components. Since it's a, whatchamacallit, how should I say it? It's basically an interface, so it's not gonna find anything, I suppose. Okay, you and you. Okay, and you basically point to this one. Let me delete that and save. Yep. Unity custom property field for interface. Custom property drawer for interface derived on the behaviors. We'll go around a bit. This has been fairly well covered in many different threads. Here's one quick example. In this case, if your tests don't work, I assume this is because the field must not be of a type that specializes Unity engine.object. Unity doesn't support serializing Unity objects via interfaces to begin with, so you have to solve the serialization problem before you even start with the inspector side of things. Exposing fields with interface type. Transform light my script. I hate hacks, and your solution lets me use interfaces the way binary gods intended. There has to be a way. Typing interface in the inspector. Unity by itself does not expose fields that are of an interface type. It is possible to manually enable this functionality by implementing a custom inspector each time, as Mike3 has pointed out, but even the reference would not be serialized remembered between sessions and entering exiting play mode. It is possible, however, to create a serializable container object that wraps around a component field, which is serialized and cast to the desired interface type through a generic property. And with the introduction of custom property drawers into Unity, you can effectively expose a serialized interface field in your scripts without having to write a custom inspector property drawer each time. I've taken this approach and released an asset that does exactly that here. Serialized reference. This might be relevant, but by now, but just if someone still has some set the attributes serialized reference. So basically do this. What does that do? Does that change anything? One would guess that no. Huh. Okay, it kinda changes it. Just not exactly. You know what? I'm gonna do something. Give me a second. Let me go ask old faithful Claude if he knows like any general idea for this. Okay. Do you have any suggestions on how I can implement custom property fields in Unity's UI builder that will support interface? Let me see if he knows anything. Because I need to find a way to specifically say, let me assign interfaces directly to this, and you will know by reference where to go to. In a way. Because this is a bit complicated. I think in Godot I can do this. In Unity I am not quite sure. Besides doing a custom property field. Let's see. Give it a second. Claude is thinking a lot. Shouldn't take this much. Also, let me do some checking around. Everything seems fine. Okie dokie. We have no issues. And I'm almost at 300 subs. What the heck? I'll look away for a second, and out of nowhere I have 4 new subs. Bloody hell. Welcome on in, everyone. Let me see. Yeah, this is a well-known gap. Unity serializer can serialize a field type as an interface at all. Interfaces aren't concrete types. So the standard workaround is exactly the pattern I used for GameManager.net zone. Back the field with Unity engine.object or mono behavior, exposes the interface via cast property, and validate the assignment. Custom property field, property drawer, built with UI toolkit. Let you generalize that pattern instead of hand rolling on validate check in every class. Small attribute tags which interface serialized object field is constrained to. Require interface attribute. This drawer using create property GUI UI toolkit instead of legacy on GUI. Okay, visual element. Oh, I see. I can do a serialize interface attribute then. I see, I see. Resolve interface. To drop a game object. Is this of type field.register value change callback. Okay. So for example, I want to show a list of objects of a certain interface. So in a way, create a serialize interface in the same way. Serialize object. Was that the name of the main class? Serialize field. That's it. This serializes those single objects. Lists. It should be possible. We just need to dig around. But there has to be a way. Pretty sure of it, even if I have to make it up. Okay, give it a second. But yeah, I think creating a custom attribute called serialize attribute is going to be our best bet. So just going to call it new folder, Unity extensions. Just so we can know that this is behavior that will essentially extend Unity itself. So I'm gonna go here and say scripting, assembly definition, system invaders dot Unity extensions. Okay. And this is a root namespace. You are not gonna have any like child, not child, any dependencies right now, I think. So I think the regular Unity ones are imported by default, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Okay, let me just close down a few things. That's fine. Then we have the editor. It's going to be another assembly definition. System invaders dot Unity extensions dot editor. Give it a second. Okay. Gonna do this. Gonna take this out. Do this and only editor. And you are gonna depend on the top one. Okay, so in here, reference this one, and you should be fine. Okay, we have something. In the main one, I'm gonna define that this is gonna be, it's gonna have a new folder, attributes. Hey Sigma, welcome back. you're gonna have a new script that I'm gonna create on this side. Show Unity extensions should be somewhere in here. It didn't create a project. Okay, that's weird. It should have created empty C# script. Serialize interface. Oh, wait. You need to be attribute. Okay, now we have to wait for that to do it. Yep, reload. Thank you. Unity extensions, here it is. Okay, so that's what happens. I see. Attribute. Okay. There we go. You. This is gonna be a bit slow. Attribute from system. Okay, it's gonna import. Might be like that for a bit. Okay, should be fine now. Oh, for God's sake, just renamed it by mistake. Unity, can you stop interrupting me for one gosh darn second? Okay, rename attribute. Syrup to God, this is annoying. Okay, now it should be fine. Give it a second. Okay. Then what should I do in the editor? Because right now what I can do is say Serialize interface. Oh, this needs to go in shared as well. Where is the core? Okay, you have then the shared, which is basically used by everyone. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, Unity extensions, this one. Actually, let me see. I'm working with managers and you called shared. Maybe I should just add it directly here, just in case. Or I can actually just add in the shared one. Should be fine. Yeah, because this basically applies to all of the project. Okay. Can you do it now? Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna take this out. Gonna take you out. Okay. Temporary namespace cannot be found. Temporary namespace Unity extensions cannot be found. But it's right there. You technically obtain it via dependency from here. Supposedly. Okay. Let me see. Did you reply yet? No. Okay. Now there's no errors. That's fine. I wonder, can Cloud Code basically tell me where to go next? Because I'm kind of stumped on this one. Let me see. Serialize interface. So I'm gonna have to do a custom drawer, which is, I don't think it's gonna be property drawer because of how it now works. So I'm gonna go in, where is it? Here. And I'm gonna say interface field or something like that. Can I actually know where property field derives from? I'll eventually find out. Create folder, no, create script, empty C# script, and you are gonna be interface field. Two ways to fix the backing field, which you want one built around. Keep serializer interface attribute on list object, matches what you've already started. Becomes a real property attribute carrying the interface type. Generic serializable class holding the, nope. Keep it as is. Apologies. Reload. Okay. So if I derive you from property fields, okay. And what do you derive from exactly? Go to implementation. No. Go to declaration. Nope. Go to definition. There we go. Visual element iBindable. I see. You have a lot of code. I could implement it in a similar way. Although I start to see it basically references a lot of serialized objects. Yeah. Serialized object and serialized property. I see. File created file. Okay, what did you create? Redeclare serialized interface private blah blah. That's currently just an empty marker. The reason. Unity extensions, interface type. Okay. Revise. Tell me it. Okay. So it suggested something like, where is it? Here. No. Here. Suggested me to do something like this, where it basically tries to see if the type is interface type. That seems fair. Serialize interface type of ICMable component. Okay, now I get it. field itself can stay list. Unity can serialize interface type fields. Elements at all. No attribute fixes that. Back it with the list. Unity engine object and add the serialize field that was also missing and pass the interface type explicitly. I don't know if I like that. It's like property fields from the editor.ui elements. I don't know. I do not know. Because I kind of want to make this in a way I can essentially make it dynamic for other interfaces and also other projects, so I don't have to continuously, essentially, how should I say it, have to include this sort of way around with the objects and whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Trying to think. Okay, obviously this is gonna give out errors. Type of ICMable component. And right now you set for this to be object, but the one from Unity. Unity object. Okay. Yeah, but then you can't do this immediately, which kind of defeats the purpose of this. Let me see. We're separating two different things. A field like property field could mean here because one of them we already have for free. You already get the UXML capable part. Property field isn't just a display widget. When it's bound to property, it automatically checks for a matching custom property drawer and delegates to it. So your existing property fields, dimmable components, binding paths, etc. in Sim Inspector window will already route through Serialize interface drawer once your attribute field changes. What a dedicated class buys you is reusability outside the property drawer pipeline. Example given, if you ever want this interface constrained object picker in a plain editor window that isn't backed by a serialized object, serialized property at all, or you just want the drawer's logic in named testable classes of inline lambdas, yada yada, visual element, etc. There's a third riskier option, make it a true UXML element. No property field wrapper at all. Interface type passed as string that needs UXML attribute. Interesting was okay. But what if I don't want to essentially have to define the objects as Unity engine.object in the list, for example, just the interface. This is gonna be a roundabout way to do this. Give me a second. But yeah, I think I can pull off something. Whether it's by declaring here Unity engine.object and then here having to say every object in this list is of type assumable component, yada yada yada. Bob's your uncle. No, that's a hard wall, not a missing feature. Unity serializer can't walk through an interface at all, so field declared as list activable component or any interface will never produce a serialized property, regardless of attribute drawers or how clever the tooling around it is. Worth naming explicitly why serialized reference doesn't rescue this either, since that's Unity's only built-in polymorphic interface mechanism. Serialized reference is exclusively for plain C# classes and explicitly does not support Unity engine.object derived types, which is almost certainly why the original sound to rendered nothing before any of this. For itemable component implementers are mono behaviors living in a scene, which they are, that the path was never going to work. What you can do is keep the Unity engine.object backed field private and never let anything outside Team Manager see it. Expose the interface typed view as property instead. Same trick that component already uses. So you want me to do this. Wait a minute, how do you... So, you want me to use this. How does that work? Hold up. Oh, because of this. I see. I see. That's honestly a smart way to go about it. Huh. That's interesting. Pull request. See, I by mistake deleted this. I'm just gonna say seems. Update that. Okay, now every consumer of Team Manager only ever sees itemable component. The Unity object packing is an implementation detail confined to this one file. That's the practical ceiling within stock Unity serialization. Only way to get the field declaration itself down to a literal with no visible object anywhere would be a process in the source generator. And at compile time, a generator it's a real backed field plus cast property for you. Yeah, that's way too complicated, I guess. Okay, I get your point. How do we now make the property field filter by objects in the scene or projects that are of type or that implement the interface? Honestly, Cloud is kind of smart on this one compared to this guy over here. Let me see. Because he might ask me to implement something in here that's not a property field, but instead a property drawer. Because that was the explanation it was giving, where the UI elements property field gets the property drawer automatically by type association. If I understood it correctly. Let us see. And yeah, this is just a way for me to kind of make it easier for the management of every teamable object and everything like that. Okay. What do you suggest then, Mr. Cloud Code? So let me get my water. Okay, right. Object field, object type has to be concrete. Yeah, derived type, so Unity's built-in picker can never filter by implements this interface. Directly, but we can get equivalent behavior. Use type cache get types derived from object to find a reloaded concrete type that implements the interface, build a search filter out of them, and drive Unity's real object picker. It searches both open scenes and project tasks natively. It says that's what you want. The wrinkle show object picker is in GUI error API, so bridging it into a UI toolkit control means polling instead of using an on GUI event callback. Add this to serialize interface field alongside the existing object field. Keep the default drag and drop unrestricted picture too. Apologies for build list field where the same. Okay, I don't have any of those classes that you mentioned. Can you help me with that? Okay, so it's basically as I was saying. I have to create some sort of property drawer, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, we are kind of on the right path. Just a bit of a finicky way to get there. Kinda ish. But oh well. With time, I can start making Okay, I think it's back for some reason. Okay. Now I think it's fine. I don't know what happened. Like, the whole USB hub that I'm using kind of freaked out, I think. And the microphone didn't detect, so I guess I've been talking like with no audio for the last like 20 minutes, maybe. Holy. But yeah, welcome on in. Sorry. I'm doing well besides the technical issues. What about you? Let's see. Where was I? Okay, I was doing this. Let's just say this is a null behavior. It has some static. Oh, I see. You missed. Okay, now it should be a bit better, I think. Though I can still hear a bit of static. But it does appear a bit better compared to the static noise that it was doing. Okay. Could be worse. Here, let me just do this. I think I know how to implement this seamable component now. It's better now. Okay, good to know. Otherwise, if the microphone would still not be working, I had the headphone microphone now connected. So yeah, I could switch to that in any case. Okay, let me do copy component. Remove component. And assign game window to it. Paste component as new. No. Oh, it can't paste component values. I see. -0. And it's sliced. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. It's at 32. Okay, let's remember that. I'm gonna say C-0. 32. Yeah, there we go. Okay, everything seems fine. So in the scene manager now, I should be able to, yeah, I can now assign it. That's perfect. So now I have access to the scene components here. I can basically switch themes now and it should be working. But yeah, talk about a headache. I had to do so many jumping through hoops that it was amazing. Let me see where I can take this out. Itemable component, no, it was something related to editor here. Let's take out this label. Okay, what game are you working on? So I'm working on a game that's basically a mix-up between Space Invaders and Angry Birds, in a way, where instead of firing rockets, missiles, whatever, at the aliens, or in this case the virus, you basically throw yourself onto them. So you basically slingshot yourself to the enemies, like this. Yeah. And right now it's not finished. This game I'm gonna publish on Android Play Store and maybe one day on Steam. Right now I'm trying to focus on new implementations, like, for example, if I open up the ticket that I created for myself, I think I don't have the login. I do. Okay. I have a login. Yeah. So, for starting off, I wanted to apply themes like this, where you basically can select something like Doors 96, Doors XP, or XD, just so you know, it's not a it's not a copyright infringement on Microsoft. Doors 67, something like that, and Linux, or basically I'll be able to create themes and eventually allow other players to create their own teams and things like those. I did some research into Jetpack Joyrides, where I am going to implement also a disable ads feature, where it's a one-time a 2.99 purchase, and you get no ads, and maybe implement missions as well, so you can level up your account and get certain rewards for each level. The results screen, this is just for me to base myself on how it's done. The leaderboard, this is also something I have implemented. I just need to see how other games do it, so I can basically try to implement it myself. It's going to have the shop. Essentially, all of this is going to be included inside the shop window. So scans, themes. Oh, is that your GD for this game? No, no, no. This is my ticketing system for this game. Or for all of my projects in this case. I just basically threw everything from my research into a ticket. No, it's not the game design document. I technically have one. I just don't know where it is. Give me a second. System Invaders, here it is. This was done in when was it? Do I have history? Yeah. Okay, last change was made January last year. It's been a while. This was for the Pirate Software Game Jam 16, I think. And yeah, as I said, Space Invaders, Angry Birds, where it's a slingshot to essentially target the enemies. Goal of the player in this game is to survive as many waves as possible while upgrading the software to become faster and stronger. This is stronger, not stranger. So they can make it to the top of the leaderboard and unlock special skins and backgrounds along the way. Because there are special skins and special backgrounds. If I go here, I can kinda unlock it by force because somehow it's not working right now. I don't know why. But yeah, if I go here, oh, that's appearing on top when it shouldn't. Give me a second. You. Why are you appearing on top of that when you shouldn't? Is this something related to this? That's a sound menu. Login for leaderboard forms, so start panel. Oh, because it works the other way around. It needs to be here. Okay, now it works. Yeah. Okay, let me go back in here. And I'm gonna say, give it a second. Okay. So I don't have a way to trigger the achievement, so I'm gonna force the achievement itself. Skin menu. This one. Oh, it's an achievement button. I see. So you only work... Crap. I think it did something. give me a second. I need to bypass some of the things. Oh. Hello? It should be enabled. And so should you. Oh, because of this. Give me a second, I need to restart the game because of some weird behavior with instanced objects. Okay. Scan, so this button is disabled by default. If I go in here and say interactable, oh, I can't. Ain't that a quinky dink? Okay, I see. There's a achievement unlocked. Sync to Google Play, check for number. Where's check for number located at? Get to implementation, no, go find all references. Okay. Achievement 42 not unlocked. And check for number 7 or number 42. I'm gonna have to do it in a different way before I mess around with the upgrades. I see. Okay, so I have a lot of coins, so 42, there we go. And 7, okay. I brute forced the achievements. So skin parrot, there we go. And skin galaxy, wallpaper galaxy. These were all designed by me back in 2025. So yeah, this is inspired by Pirate Software's logo. At the time, I didn't know basically all the drama that appeared midway through last year, so yeah. But yeah, most of the system for skins and wallpapers is already implemented. I just don't have the sim part implemented, so I need to do that. Platform, I said Windows Web Linux at the time, with plans to be released on Steam and Xbox. That's possible eventually. Single player, fixed shooter, casual, yeah, that's still the same. Target audience, gameplay, overview, team interpretation, because the theme at the time was you are the weapon. So I had to implement a game considering that, and Space Invaders was the first idea I kind of came up with the slingshot mechanic. So yeah. Hey Alice, welcome on in. Then you have the player, that hasn't changed. I tried to keep the original assets as is for now, because I kind of like them. So yeah. Then there's the music, sound effects, game experience. Yeah, I only did like 11 pages of the GDD, but eventually I need to make it more up to date with my current implementation. Do I have your consent? Yes. You have the point, so at this point it's not about consent. Let me see. Okay, then there's the whole stat tracking thing. The post-run thing. Did that not work? Give it a second. If not, I can manually trigger them. What was it? EH. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't fire for some reason. And then the achievements. In here, I'm gonna add the whole 42 and 7 to unlock the background and the skin. I don't know about the skin itself because of the whole, you know, pirate thing. So yeah. Trying to decide if I want to keep the skin because it's essentially the original concept, so I kind of don't want to part ways with it, but at the same time, I kind of want to avoid the drama that comes with it. I don't know. It's weird. I have to say. But yeah, essentially that's the game, how it's going. Let me see. Apologies. I'm feeling really sleepy because it's been a long day. And yeah, I still haven't fixed my sleep schedule. So yeah. Oh well. Let me see. So that's System Invaders. Yep. It's System Invaders, alright. It's the new and upgraded one. I'm still working on it a bit. But yeah, I added something new, which is this icon here. This is for the health. It now is a bit different. It's not perfect, but it's a firewall. Get it? It's a wall that's on fire. A firewall. Ah. But yeah, and you have the HP bar, essentially. The rest I basically haven't touched yet. I included the icon here and the description saying Berry Antivirus Pro Edition. Is it working? Yeah. Like, let's play around a bit, and you guys will see that it's working fine. So if I do this, you can see that I'm taking damage if they touch me. So, oops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, and essentially this is what happens when I'm on Android debugging. It tries to show me an ad because of how the game is going to be configured, where you have ads every 15 minutes, but it's not 15 minutes guaranteed. It's at the end of a run if 15 minutes have elapsed since the last one. So if you manage to be on a run for like an hour, only after an hour will an ad pop up. If I make myself clear on this. And then there's the leaderboard. I can make a new build just for you guys to play around with the new UI stuff. It's essentially the same as it's currently on Edge, just minor tweaks here and there for increased things. Let me see. What's the version number? Not here. Dashboard. What be the version number here? Just so I can know. 0026. Yada yada. I think it's 0026, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna Steam Pass, etc, etc, yada yada, build Windows plus Linux. This basically will tell Unity to build the game files, and eventually I can run a custom command just to send it off to itch. So yeah, I kind of optimized the flow for developing System Invaders. So it's very like just press a button and then run a script and everything goes automatically, which is kind of amazing, not gonna lie. It saves up all the time. Give me a second, I'm seeing some notifications. Everything seems fine. Alrighty then. Let me see Twitter, cause I kind of vague posted that I was live. Yeah. So I need to start including some hashtags in the Twitter posts. Okay. How are we on the YouTube side? We are 3 subs away from reaching 300. I am not joking. I just checked. So yeah, that's amazing. To think that last year, by this point, we were at like 100. I don't even think we were at 100. And now I'm at 300 almost. That's amazing. Let me see. Why are you... Shouldn't it be going to... Oh, because I didn't mark it as itch build. That makes sense. That's a small mistake on my side. I forgot to tell it that this is the build for itch, so it needs to place in a specific folder. My bad. Are you using Unity? I thought you were using Godot. I'm using the 2 of them. Godot for Code Tulip and Unity for System Invaders. Because System Invaders was created before I started using Godot. So, yeah, essentially that. I haven't moved away from Unity on this project because I've done the planning for that and it's not worth the trouble of porting all the code to Godot, making everything work, and yeah, it would be too much of a hassle and take too much time. So I'll just maintain it in Unity. It's not that complicated. And yeah, let's see where it goes. Okay, now it should build correctly to itch. I hope. Let me just game dev deploys itch. Notice you add a deadweight tag. Yeah, that's a meme. For those that don't know, I think who was it? Zach Busey posted something about, I think it was Twitch staff internally referring to those that have under 100 concurrent viewership as deadweight or something like that, where our ad revenue isn't even profitable for Twitch. So they basically say it's basically a way of saying that we are dead weights to them. And yeah, that's a meme. When will you be playing a game? Maybe tomorrow? I don't know. With the whole game dev thing, I have quite a busy schedule. So I don't know. Plus, I don't know what game I would play. I don't know, honestly. Because, like, I've noticed that whenever I play a game on stream, it kind of doesn't get attention. Like, people just don't want to watch that. They prefer to watch the chaos and the game dev instead of the gameplay. So, yeah, in a way, it might not be worth doing gameplay streams. At least from my point of view. I may be mistaken, but I just get that feeling. Yeah, I just look at the numbers. Numbers tell me playthroughs don't work. At least for my channels. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, the build should be live. Let me see. Update this. Just win GL. Okay, yeah, it's live. So now if you go to this link, give me a second. Why is it not in the browser? This is... Oh, did I... Is something wrong with the browser version, and that's why I technically took it off. Let me see. Because I don't remember. Oh yeah, it crashes as soon as it enters the game. That might be why I removed it. Okay. That's interesting. So you're gonna be downloadable. I'm gonna delete you, and for now I'm gonna say in the, where is the editor? Here it is. Build window. I'm gonna hide the part that does the WebGL build. I think it just script itself, because in here I kind of removed it. Okay, edit and EU, basically go away. Remove the folder, and there we go. Okay, so now it only builds for Windows and Linux. It doesn't build for web because there might be some issues with threading or something like that, and I basically gave up on the web build. So only way is to go to the app or direct download. I prefer to go from here because it's easier. Yeah, there we go. My creations. I have System Invaders here. Install. Sure. Install to C drive. Give it a second. Should be installed. Yeah, there we go. So if I launch it now, yeah, there we go. Okay, it's scaled properly. It might have some issues with the scaling itself. Yeah. It normally tries to resize to 16 by 9. I can go in here and say toggle full screen. And yeah, although the toggle full screen kinda bugs out a bit and it lags the stream. So yeah, I still need to fix the toggle full screen to say when I press EU, you resize to the max screen size, preferably. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically have the updated graphics that I created. And it should be loading. Okay, if I go in here and say, I don't remember the username and password, not gonna lie. I've been using the login with Google, and yeah, I think it's this email, and it should be this password. Okay, it was. Huh. I did not remember. So basically now you can play through this. And yeah, still needs a lot of things to do. So yeah. Oh. Okay, the display capture kind of bugged a bit, but yeah, that's essentially it. And I'm feeling really tired now after that adventure with the whole seeming thing. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see what's complaining. Okay, play games platform. Thank you, thank you. This the Google Play one should only be appearing when I'm running on Android. Okay, give me a second. Where is the runtime folder? There's Google Play U. Android and editor. Okay. So, something ain't right somewhere in here. I think it's because of this. Do I say... No. Actually, you're fine. Yeah, that makes sense, because it's an editor part. What's the issue? Play games platform. Is this one of my classes? Okay, it belongs to Google Play Games, which should be working. Did I remove it by mistake from here? No, it's there. Google Play Games, which is pointed to here. And it does have Play Games client. Scripts, iSocial platform. Scripts, iSocial platform, Play Games, yeah. Why is this not working? You say that you are for editor and Android, so you should be fine. Just local, no. Generate new type, no. Why are you complaining? Oh, because it's not on Unity Android. Might have to put all of this with the same type of logic. If Unity Android. And if. And then the same here. If Unity Android. If. If Unity Android. If. I have to manually do this for all the classes that mention it. Okay, so hypothetically now, if I switch to the Android profile, it should work. Give it a second. Yeah, now it works. Okay, I didn't break anything. Started working on themable components. Fixed Android references outside Android. Okay. There we go. Now, essentially comes the tedious part where I have to define all of this as teamable components one by one. That's gonna be fun. Let me see. should be main camera, HUD. Oh, and ads should be starting very soon, like in 7 minutes or so. Let me see. 10 minutes, okay. But should be 7 to start. So yeah, I think I'm not gonna do too much work and then go grab something to eat and do a bit more stream of game dev. Yeah. Try to not go overboard with myself on the game dev part. Let me see. Taskbar. So start button is this. This is the application button. And how about I define something regarding, I can make a generic class for these components. Could make my life easier if I did one. And only do the other one for specific types of objects that require a seam, I guess. Let me see, I'm gonna go back in here, do a push again. Where is UI? Here. Okay, so gonna be new. Oh, I kind of get why I did it like that. Yeah. So that's basically for classes where I want them to be like instance objects or something like that, where I want to preserve the hierarchy in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. I kind of just remembered why I started implementing via interface like this. But yeah, for now, I can just pull off a teamable component. That's a mana behavior that implements steamable component. X formatting and implement interface. Private image. Unity engine UI. On start. Is it start? It should be. On start, image equals get component image. And in here, I'm gonna say public enum symbol component type stack button, application button, tray or system tray. I could just say window. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Start menu, because that's gonna have a different thing. Serialize field, private, symbol, component type, switch, component type, case, start button, break, sprite is equal to theme.start menu button. Okay, then basically replicate for the other 4. Where basically do this. Okay. Application button. Gonna have one of those. System tray. Gonna have that. Window. I think there should be one for a window in the border. Yeah. Okay. Here, window background. Where I can do something like this. Okay, and start menu. Start menu background. Okay, so I'm missing one of these and one of these. Okay, yeah. Now it should be fine. This has to be like this, can be a property. Okay. Now it should hypothetically be working. Okay, there's no code errors. That's fine. Let me go here and let me grab the Doors 96 theme. And we put it like that and say, this is a window border. You don't have a background for now. Panel is this one. Okay, now I know what panel is. Here, let me put taskbar. And just do the same. Taskbar. Panel, and I'm gonna take a break. The twins will have the stream under control for now until I come back. So let me go in here and say, okay, I think their UI is a bit bugged. Oh, there we go. Okay, they should now talk in my stead. So yeah, I'll be right back.
Tulip, could you explain recursion as if I were a complete beginner? And then, of course, make it simple enough for an AI to understand. Daisy, you're making this sound complicated. Recursion is basically when a function calls itself over and over until it reaches a base case, like peeling an onion layer by layer until you get to the core. And here's why it works. It's just like playing a game where each step leads you closer to winning. But remember, if you don't set up your base case right, you might end up with an infinite loop, like being stuck in a video game level forever.
Tulip, while your analogy is creative, recursion isn't just about peeling an onion or playing a game. It's crucial to define the base case precisely to prevent infinite loops. Otherwise, you might end up with a situation that never resolves, like trying to solve a puzzle without rules.
Think of recursion like a recursive quest in a video game. You know, where you solve mini-quests to unlock bigger ones. Each mini-quest is a step that gets you closer to the final boss, your base case. Without the right mini-quests, base cases, you'd be stuck in an endless loop, like playing the same level over and over.
Tulip, your game analogy is fun, but can you give me an example where a poorly defined base case actually caused problems in real code? I mean, something that led to unexpected behavior or even a crash. Daisy Tulip, imagine recursion is like a nested set of Russian dolls. Each doll opens another one until you reach the smallest, simplest piece, your base case. If there's no smallest doll, all the others keep opening forever, just like an infinite loop crashing your code.
Russian dolls, huh? That's a neat idea. But what if we made recursion like a never-ending party where everyone keeps inviting more guests? Eventually, you'd run out of space and the whole thing would crash. And remember, if you don't set up a clear rule for when to stop, like running out of cake or drinks, the party could go on forever.
Daisy Tulip, while your party analogy is creative, recursion isn't about
What
running
did I
out of space or
miss?
cake. It's about defining a clear end condition to prevent infinite loops. Think of it more like setting a timer on each doll so they know when to stop opening. Otherwise, you could end up with an endless sequence that crashes the system.
What?
But Daisy, if recursion is all about setting a timer,
What did I
then how
return
do you
to?
explain an infinite loop that crashes without running out of space? It's not like the system has a built-in clock or something. The whole party analogy still holds water literally, if we're talking servers.
Apologies. Why was there talk about Russian dolls at a given point? I just took a small break to go eat something and I returned to them talking about gibberish. What happened? Because I don't know. You two, I can't leave you two alone for one single second, huh? But yeah, I'm back. Let's just finish doing what we were doing. So this goes here. This is a system tray, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the application button. I just need a window background and a start menu background, which is essentially this part here. So this that says main menu. I need to replace it. But yeah, besides that, I think the theming part is going well. Let me just define here that this is not a font asset. Does it have to be a TMF? TM Pro? TM font? Font data, font engine, style font. Is it just a font? Apologies. Oh, and that's gonna be a pain in the ass for me to configure. Because yeah, I can do this. but there's too many fonts to the point. I think I'm just gonna keep the same font for all themes and not even touch this. Cause holy, nah, that's gonna be too complicated. Let it just be with images. The button also needs a specific image, but for that it's easy. I just need to go here and say, instead of saying menu, you're gonna be an empty button up here. And yeah, just delete this, color in, and there's your button. Simple enough, I guess. So now if I go in the Doors 96 theme and edit the sprite. Oh, I didn't export. Give me 1 segundo. Okay. There we go. I can just do something like this. Can't I duplicate? I can't. So 10, 14, 4, 4, 128 by 44. 128 by 44. 10, 4, 14, 4. 10, 4, here's like this. Okay. I think that's... Okay, it was up by 1. Yeah, there's your button. So essentially now it should work if I, for example, went in here and said this has the... Did I not apply? Okay, I forgot. I'm gonna go now. Perfect. Okay, thank you. See you soon then. If I drag this, yeah, there we go. I can just put it at white color. And I think this is a bit too much. Unless I need to define here something like 16, 32. Okay, it needs to be 32 in this case, but it looks a bit better. So if I went and did the same here and to all of these buttons, there we go. Looks a tiny bit different. Let's test in the game to see how it looks. Okay. Oh yeah, that definitely looks good. Huh. Shift P? No. Control P? No. Must be Control Shift P to pause the game. I wanted to see how it basically is while hovering. Although I can just zoom in as well. I could just do something like zoom and... Oh, but I can't define where I want to zoom into. Control Shift P. Let's see, yeah. The whole texture turns blue. So yeah, that works. I like that. Okay. So yeah, now I need to also design icons for the buttons. And besides that, I think we're fine. I think I can start implementing the theme components themselves. Still gonna take a while because there's a lot of components that are gonna require this. So yeah. Oh well, but we can take care of it tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sign off for now. I need to really rest. And I mean it. I also am going to record some shorts tomorrow, maybe. But yeah, I thank you all for joining. Hope you learned something about game development in Unity. And I hope to see you all tomorrow at the same time, same channel. So yeah, class dismissed.
Tulip, stop being dramatic. Infinite loops happen because of logical errors in the code, not because we ran out of anything. Think about an actual scenario, like a web crawler that doesn't have a stopping condition. It just keeps following links forever until it either gets stuck or crashes due to an infinite loop. Okay, let's wrap this up. How about we discuss something more practical, like how recursion is used in real-world applications, say in compilers or for traversing file systems? Daisy, you've been discussing, ask Tulip to explain recursion in a way that makes sense and critique her answer.